Hi, I'm just going to have a look at BAU for my old mate Penicillin. Sorry I'm a day late, mate, but I forgot we had Valentine's Day. I didn't forget Valentine's Day, it's just when I said to you I'd do it by then, I didn't. Not to worry. Get on with the chart. We've done our quadrants from our history on the high back down to the low, okay? And we've drawn our fib set as per usual. What we can see here is the 200 period moving average here coming in for the first time to give this one a little bit of a roost and a little bit of a golden cross, but it's gone a little bit flat, but the MAs look like they're about to kick up now. Now the important thing here with the fibs is notice the Alamo, which is the last man standing, the last fib here. It came up and it's hit it before, but it hasn't gone through it, okay? And that was also at the same time the 200-day moving average and that fib keeping the stock down, okay? This time the 200 is underneath, so it should be pushing it up, okay? So the thing to bear in mind is it really needs to get through that 39 cents. That is the Alamo, the old fib. Then we have a quadrant line here at 43, and our next set of fibs up, which is our 61.8%, okay, here at 57 and probably 57 and a half. With this little critter, what we noticed in the past is it's done this range here, okay, which I've drawn in, and it's repeated it again, okay, and I'm being a bit conservative here because it actually did have a blow off top and a bit of a blow down bottom, okay, but yeah, so it has done that in the past, okay, so it's repeated that range twice, so it doesn't mind that range. The other thing is we've got this little range in here. Once again, there's a couple of tails, so I'm being reasonably conservative, okay. It's repeated it again in there, okay, and just get rid of that damn thing, and we have a look. It repeated it again up here, okay. It's repeated it again in here, okay, and it's repeated it basically over here as well, okay. So what we can say is it likes that range. Now to me it's basically on a bit of a breakout, so if we were to repeat that range, that would take us up near the 50-cent mark and above that old fib, so it'd be basically a breakout for the stock, okay. Thing to bear in mind too is we do have a gap here at 44 cents, so there's an old gap there to fill at 44, and there's a higher one up here which is just way out at the moment. So what we're going to do is just zoom in a little bit closer, and we're going to get an idea of what we're going to be doing by just going to put on a fib set here. This is another fib set from the high to the low, okay. That'll give us areas that it needs to get through, okay. So it really needs to, it is just sitting on this fib line here at the moment, and that little candlestick that's sitting there too is a dragonfly, so that's all well and good, and it looks like it wants to make a little pennant here, so whether it goes sideways or not, it could do another cross and another dragonfly, or it could just take off tomorrow. Dragonflies is a nice little candle, okay. Now if we also do a reverse fib on that, okay, that will give us a target to be looking at. Actually, could even take it from down there. There, that's a nice fib setting, so that would be 161 target is what we'd be looking at there, okay. So there it is again, that's your 57 cents. But don't forget, it's got to get through these two first, okay, and it's also got to get through this one here at 33. So a break of 33, and she could definitely be on a way to repeat this range here. I'll just put a line on that so we know where that range is, and what we'll do is we'll just do a fib projection from the lowest low Okay, up to the latest breakout. Okay, well, that's going to be up here. Okay, and again we get our 161 up here. Okay, so also is throwing up 100% at 46 cents, so something else to watch there. But that would be our range target in here, is what I'd be thinking to look at. Okay, yeah, but it's looking quite good. I'm just going to have a look at the indicators, and as we can see, our SCOT here is still on the way down. It hasn't made its mind up to turn yet, but we had a DEMA buy signal right here on there, and we had another one down there as well, but we'll just go on the recent one. But a DEMA buy up here, and the DEMA has picked up. Okay, now the DEMA can run up to 70, and as before with this stock, it's run up to 85, so it could have a long way to go. The MACD is looking positive. On that DEMA buy, we can see it was just the day before the big push up. Okay, so our DEMA picked it really well. It read everybody's mind, like it's meant to do. Yeah, so yeah, it's all. I'm still quite positive on this. Be a good little trade in this stock along the way. I'm just going to pause this and come back with a. This is the weekly chart, and what we can see here, this little cross here, this little inverted hammer was the buy signals here. Our standard error band here is now on the way up, and our 50 period moving average has just come down and is supporting the stock here. Okay, so we've got this little cross here. Now, after this full candle here, I'd be expecting like a pump up from there, and that's going back to like this flag type pattern that happened over here, and we'll just draw some lines on that to see if we can get some. Yeah, that would be, let's see, something like that. Okay, so that would show you that it's basically sort of, it has broken out here. Whether it's a false break or not, that's something we'll have to find out. But at the moment, it's not looking like it. The weekly also, the indicators on the weekly, we'll go to them in a minute. But that standard error band moving up and all the other moving averages coming up. Don't forget a weekly chart can take a week or two, because it is a weekly. But we'll just have a look at the indicators on the weekly. But yeah, there's basically where we're headed off to. MACD is starting to turn up on the weekly and the SCOT. Okay, we've had a big increase in volume the week before. You can see here. What it needs is this week for the volume, which is also larger than the week before the big week, to be on the up again. It just needs some more volume now. The DEMA here is approaching 54. Once they basically come up to 54, they'll either hit it or go straight through it. If they hit it, they can just run along it and then take off, okay? Or they can go through it, come back, retest it, and go again. But 54 is usually a buy trigger line for me on a daily chart, on a DEMA. So that is what you'd be looking at there. This has still got a long way to go. It may take some time to get there, but the stock is definitely breaking up out of downtrend, in my opinion. Okie dokie, but yeah, that's about my thoughts on it, so I'll leave it with you.